only redneck fans. Auburn almost caught y'all slacking like dress hands. Michigan trash, they ain't got a damn chance. Only Wolverine I respect is X-Man. Keen ass coach got exposed, still in plays. Damn right I'm bitter, y'all sweeter than lemonade. Texas ain't shit to rave about. The Longhorn.
Yes. The Tiny Hat CEO has returned to the roast. How's everybody doing? Shout out to my beautiful co-host, the FSU Harley Quinn. How you doing, Jen? How you doing, girl?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about you? And happy
Lord.
Father's Day to all the dads out there too, by the
Oh
way.
yes. Happy Father's Day to all of the men that were wild enough to go raw and spray up a hustle box and stayed around to take care of their little ones. Shout out to the ones that have to deal with the angry baby mamas that won't let them see their kids. Happy Father's Day to all of y'all. We love you. And to the ones that weren't man enough to stay around, don't try to come back when he go D1. When he commit to Florida State, don't be over there don't be all in the show. Don't be all at the little ceremony. Just stay your ass out of the way like you were the whole time that young man was hustling hard to get out here. So again, shout out and happy Father's Day to everybody. But today we have a special guest from the college football mafia. What's up, Wild You? How you doing, baby?
What's up? Hey, thanks for the invite. Coming in house here. I can't wait to freaking roast the ACC. You know, guys, here's the thing: is like I don't even see Florida State in the ACC anymore. Right? When I think of the ACC, it's like Florida State's on its own ether and everything. So when I'm roasting the ACC, you guys aren't even in it. So I'm just gonna go after it. We're gonna go after it. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Oh yes. You already in good company, baby. I don't know nothing about Utah. I was out there one time, ran into a couple of nice ones out there when I was in Orem. But outside of that, though, you already on my good side. So we just gonna jump right into this. Let's start with the ACC in general. Like I've been saying for the longest time, we want to get out of this plebeian ass conference. The ass coast conference making my life hard. They're trying to run our pockets. They're not holding up their end of the bargain. And just more and more every day, it makes us angrier and angrier about why we in this raggedy ass conference. So, we got the youth on here. We got Wild Youth on here so that he can throw out some numbers and just let us know. I saw somebody said that, the ACC was a 2-team conference. And then somebody tried to tell us tried to tell me that UNC was valuable in football and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a minute. If we're a 2-team conference and you saying UNC up there, well, who the hell is the other one? Because it can't be Clemson or FSU. We definitely top 2. And in my eyes, we not number 2. So what are you seeing? What are your numbers telling you about Florida State and the Ass Coast Conference just in general?
Well, here we go. If you guys want to share real quick, share your screen here. I put some numbers down there that you can share. We can take a look at it together here. So really, here we go. Okay, so this was a college football mafia presentation. Let's just look at the numbers, though, guys. Okay, so this is based on 2015 through 2023 numbers throughout COVID season. We're looking at the combos here in football of who gets the viewership. Right, when we're roasting the ACC, look at Boston College, y'all. So, if you look to the right-hand side, the viewership share, that's saying since 2015 through 2023, that Boston College got about 2 point whatever, right? 2%, 3% of all the ACC total viewership. All of it. Boston College. You guys, last I understood, they were making almost as much as FSU, right? In conference. Is that true? And same thing as Clemson and Miami? Let's just look up at Wake Forest here. How's Wake Forest performing?
Oh, not the number one growing academic, or was it the number one growing college football school in the nation?
Man, it's all about narratives, and that's crazy because looking at Wake Forest is good for about 3% of all the football viewership. Duke ain't much better. UVA, it's just really, really dang bad and stuff. But you're looking at the top 2 schools, really. Clemson made this amazing run. We all know with Sunshine and Dabo and everything, the championships. Of course, they're going to have good numbers. But Florida State's just a juggernaut, especially last year in the viewership numbers. Totally freaking slammed it. Florida State's in its own world, really, when it comes to viewership and everything. So just take a look at this. This basically kind of sums up exactly why the Noles have to get out of conference, why the Noles are worth way more than a lot of these other schools. Because, you can make the argument easily that Clemson, because of this historical run, yeah, they had really inflated numbers and everything. But Florida State is that steady program that's going to pull no matter what. Fan base is massive. You guys are freaking crazy. And it's awesome, right? But, looking at everybody else, freaking dragging you down, man.
Look at that. That is piss poor what I'm looking at right there. Right. And I'm not even gonna go, you know what? I want to give you credit, because you went to the bottom. I'm not gonna go to the bottom. Let's go to the top to see who's in third place right now. We're in the All Canes conference. The All Canes conference. They ain't even cracked 10%. Is that
What?
they didn't even crack 10% of the total viewership of the ACC over that time?
Not 10%, but guess that's third place, y'all. That's third place.
Isn't that
Like, so
sad?
I mean, you could rip it and everything, and it's not great, right? But like, man, like that is triple the Boston College viewership still. When I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about the ACC. There's such big laggards in this conference. Florida State needs to be out of this conference. Honestly, like as an outsider perspective, I don't even see you guys in the conference. Really, like Florida State is its own brand. Your brand, really, in a lot of ways, you and Clemson are worth as much to like the ACC as everybody else combined. Really looking at the viewership and everything else. So it's pretty clear as an outsider to see all that stuff. And like the ACC is just dragging you down. You guys, when you add Cal to the mix, you guys don't even know how bad it is yet. Utah was in the Pac-12, right? And when we would go to Cal football games, nobody went to Berkeley to watch football games. Nobody wanted to watch them on TV. Nobody wanted to attend games in person. They wouldn't show up to away games. I don't know if they have a fan base at all. In Stanford is great academically and stuff, but nobody goes to football games. And you added SMU. So you are adding these juggernauts and everything to the ACC conference. Where do you think they're going to end up on this viewership share list?
Behind Pitt. Ain't that some you can't sit here and tell me that, oh, we're doing everything that we can to make sure that college football, the ACC
Who do you mean?
isn't left behind.
Cal will be behind Boston College. Cal will be at the bottom. And Stanford will be, I would put Stanford above Virginia, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice. And then I would put SMU. I would put SMU actually above Syracuse, in between Syracuse and NC State. That's what I would say.
Okay, so SMU, guys, SMU's viewership is so bad that like a lot of games don't even get registered and stuff. Like a lot of non-Nielsen rated games don't show up on these lists and stuff because nobody's watching the game. Like, the Raycom games that some ACC schools play on, those just don't even show up because you get like 50,000 viewers per game. SMU's viewership, it would be lowest, absolute lowest, below Boston College right now and stuff. They're going to get a boon by playing the Knowles and others and stuff in conference, but really they're not bringing anything. They are complete noose around the neck, actually.
Yeah, so essentially it's what we all of us FSU fans thought. They just bringing in 3 more schools that they can say, hey, vote with us so that you can keep these juggernauts in here to make you extra money. So more people come into the cookout and not bringing nothing. They're not bringing cups. They're not even bringing ice. They're not coming over here with no young ladies that we can even look at to enjoy the beverages that we out here sharing. They're not bringing nothing. You ain't even bringing juice for the hunch punch. Like, what are y'all bringing to this conference right now? We out here cooking the meals. We had to go buy the meat. We throwing everything up on the grill. We making the drinks. We serving the drinks. We got Clemson jumping off tables and lighting themselves on fire for entertainment. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all just sitting on the couch watching us have fun? This is a waste of my time. This right here just pissed me off even more. This plebeian ass conference. And it's by the numbers. It's by the numbers. So another thing that I saw, and I'm glad you got the numbers up here, because the viewership, I really want to see the viewership of all of those bottom teams when they not playing Florida State and Clemson, because I guarantee
let's see it. Well, I mean, it's bad. It is
that's
bad.
The reason.
That's the only reason they're even probably ranked where they are now is when they play Florida State. That's true. I mean, these are just facts.
You guys know the rebuttal, though, is like, hey, once Florida State's gone, like, all of a sudden Duke and UVA are going to get in those really good time spots that you guys have been playing, and everyone's going to watch them just like you guys. But that is literally the rebuttal. That's what people are saying. No,
isn't that wild? Nobody, the ESPN is not going to put on Duke versus Wake.
They have to put on some AC. Once Florida State gets out of conference, we all know it's going to happen. It might happen in freaking 2 days. Right? Like, seriously. But, like, who knows when that happens? It's going to happen over the next year and a half at most and everything. The ACT is so freaking screwed, guys. Like, look at these numbers right here. How are these going to change? If you put Wake Forest or Duke or Georgia Tech and stuff in primetime on ABC, that ain't changing anything. No one's going to watch them. I'm not watching those football games. Are you guys?
No.
I ain't watching them now. I ain't even want to watch them when they played us.
No.
To be frank, like ain't nobody trying to watch
I mean,
that.
we feel offended when they come in and play us. Like, what is going on here? This is like, oh, you have to go to Snuggy Hill. Like, what is this? Who wants to do this? It's very offensive. And, you know, maybe up your, I mean, I know they are the fastest growing fan base in the ACC. But nobody cares. And I think I can't wait for this league to just demolish. And I know everybody hates us for this, and it's so fun. I love being a villain. I love being in that villain era, and I'm happy about it.
You know, the only thing good about Wake Forest is their colors. That's it. Because y'all, everything
Is
else
it
about y'all
now?
is dark. I mean, black and gold. I'm not gonna hate on it. But just like that mesh point that they got, everything else that they do is slow as shit. You can't bring no viewers. You can't run no offense. You can't run no defense. There's nothing good coming out of Wake Forest. I can't wait until we tearing their asses down and coming up here in a couple of weeks. I can't wait to run them down. But this is terrible. So let me ask you this: if we were to translate these numbers here, and you're the numbers guy, how well do we fit in with the SEC and with the Big Ten with the way that our viewership goes?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy fit right there. Florida State's one of the few teams that can actually exceed that median point stuff for the Big Ten or the SEC. And that's with playing Boston College, guys, right? Like, and that's with playing these low-level teams and not getting the premier time slots. So really, Florida State's already performing at an above median level, like above average level. And when you're looking at the Big Ten numbers and everything, and when you're factoring in all of a sudden, if Florida State gets in the Big Ten, you're playing Michigan and a freaking Ohio State and Penn State. You guys, Florida State's going to be a top 3, 4, at worst 5 draw in the Big Ten. If they get in the Big Ten, Florida State is absolutely going to be a juggernaut. I've told Jen before, like seriously, Florida State, if I'm a Nole fan, get me in the freaking Big Ten conference. Why would you want to be in the SEC conference, guys? Seriously, like, forget that stuff. You guys could become the premier program in the nation and stuff in the Big Ten conference by dominating everybody, dominating recruiting. I don't know why in the world you'd be interested in going to the SEC when you could have the opportunity of a lifetime going to the Big Ten, making more money. The Big Ten makes more money than the SEC. And all of a sudden, you are the premier brand in the South. Like, it makes 100% sense to do it. It even improves your academics, for goodness sake, and stuff. Forget the SEC and everything. It should be all in on the Big Ten conference for you guys, 100%.
Oh, hell yeah.
I 100% agree with you, obviously. I think going to the SEC would be just a waste of time. You go from one conference where you're treated like the redheaded stepchild to another. And I think that's just a bad idea. I think you want to go somewhere where you're wanted, where you're needed, where it can actually move forward. I think the SEC would be staying stagnant, right? I don't know how it would actually move anything forward as far as your building plans, your growing plans, all the things, and being in a premier league such as the Big Ten. And I think you can compete in all the sports in the Big Ten. And for the SEC, why bother? Why bother?
Maybe I'm wrong about this. You tell me if I'm wrong. But I would be pretty annoyed of like Florida being right there in Gainesville and stuff and being in the SEC right now. And yeah, you're trying to get out of the ACC, but like, hey, things are pretty good. They're making a lot of money over there in the SEC. It's been a long time they've been making a lot of money, and you guys have been kicked in the ACC with all this crap with the college football playoff last year. I would be completely fed up if I was a Nole fan. Seriously, I'd be completely fed up. You guys, if you join the SEC, Florida's been there forever, right? So really, you know what's going to happen when you join that. Like, you're all of a sudden like, best case scenario and everything, no matter how successful you are, they've been there so long, they're established. If you go into the Big Ten, you could be the absolute premier, the biggest brand, everything in the whole Southern region. Like, that's, at the end of the day, if you want to overtake everybody in the South and everything, it's not going to the SEC. It's going to the Big Ten Conference.
Right. See, and I can't wait. I would much rather go to the Big Ten so that we can go ahead and put belt to ass to some of the mid-ass programs up there, and we can actually start exposing some of these teams for what they are. Because if I have to hear one more year, one of these know-it-alls on TV tell me that, oh, Penn State is the great, Penn State this, Penn State that. Penn State is trash. They've been trash for 30 years. They've been trash even longer than that. Like, when was the last time Penn State was relevant outside of media hype? They can go kick rocks. All right. I can't wait for us to run down on Michigan State, for us to put belt to ass to Illinois and Indiana, to have Northwestern doing our homework. Like, I'm ready to run down on all of them. Just like I looked at Ohio State's schedule this year. They literally have 3 games worth talking about on that schedule. And they're going to be ranked in the top 5 to start the season. And they're going to coast through that raggedy ass schedule, most of it being garbage Big Ten teams. And then they're going to get into the playoff, and everybody's going to sing their praises with one of the most mediocre trash ass schedules I've ever seen. Outside of Michigan and Penn State, they don't play anybody else. And now when the big dogs of the block come walking in there, now we legitimately got something to talk about. Oregon going over there finally. Okay, cool. Oregon, y'all going to fall apart like y'all normally do. Y'all look good beating up on regular teams, and then you go and play a big dog and y'all get your asses whooped. That's just how it's going to be with Oregon. That's what they are, perennial ass whoopers by bigger and better squads. So I can't wait to get up there to the Big Ten. I don't want to be anywhere near the SEC. I don't want Florida hating on us because they've been holding us back for years. I don't want Alabama and that whole the LSU, Alabama, Georgia 3-headed monster that they got going. Whatever they want goes, and all of the other teams just SEC the whole time. I'm not trying to do all of that. No, I want to go somewhere where we can go and put belt to ass, play games, and be a dog and be a big dog out here. We're going to be like that everywhere, but I would much rather us go up north and show them boys what's up. So I'm definitely
the last thing too, like to take a look here, like at these ACC viewership, a couple like points then, like really Louisville actually surprisingly good, guys. Like for an ACC school, I know we're ripping on the ACC. Louisville deserves some credit because they don't get much at all. But Louisville shows out in football and basketball viewership and everything. And the brand, that's absolutely concerning when you're looking at them. Virginia Tech's a brand that's declining hard, guys. Virginia Tech is nosediving down viewership-wise and everything. I know they got Enter Sandman and everything, but everyone thinks they're a shoe-in for a Power 2 spot. No way, guys. It ain't happening. They just don't have that.
Mm-hmm. They can go to the Big 12. They can go to the Big 12. Miami, Louisville, Virginia Tech, all y'all can go to the Big 12. You can do all it. You can be the gimmick league over there. They can finally try to win something. Ever since they got out of the Big East, they ain't been winning nothing. So they can go right on over there to the Big 12. They fit right in with that ragtag bunch, because I can't wait to see UCF put a belt on their ass just so I can laugh at them. The state of Miami, we put a gate up around from Orlando South. Yeah, and UCF is going to put belt to ass to them boys, and I can't wait to see it. That's going to be fantastic. But the turkeys have been a thorn in my ass for the longest too. After that one win that they got, was it 2017 with Taggart? After that, they haven't done anything worth talking about in the league. So I can't stand Virginia Tech, but Mike Norvell did work against them. So I don't like anything out of them schools either. Everything below number 2 is just pure ass on this thing. All right, that's what this is. We might as well call this the Torque Conference, because this is just pure ass bouncing on camera. Like, this don't make no sense what we're watching right here. So I'm glad to see these numbers here. But I wanted to jump directly into the next topic here, and that's one Mr. Dennis Dodd. Now, for those of y'all don't know, Dennis Dodd is a notorious FSU hater. He's been one of them people, much like Heather Dinich, the possum that's always reporting on what we got going on ESPN. He's always bumping his gums about what Florida State's got going on. And Dennis Dodd poked his head up out the ground like the groundhog that he is. And he has some choice words about Florida State that really pissed me off. So I kind of wanted to run down what he said. The first thing that he pissed me off with was that the industry doesn't think Florida State is worth what they think they are. Florida State is worth what a Big 12 team is worth. He said that Florida State is worth what a Big 12 team is worth. And then he also had the audacity to say that if we were to go into the SEC or the Big 10, that we shouldn't even think that we're going to get a full share for a decade. If we were to join one of those two conferences. So before I start lighting Dennis Dodd's bald-headed ass up, how do you feel about Dennis Dodd, Jen?
Well, number one, he's been a Jameis hater for years. He started this BS in 2013, thought he should be removed from the team, didn't think he should be up for the Heisman for the fact that a girl falsely accused, and yes, I will say it, I'm going to go there. And because it's been busted out. Her friends actually said she was lying. All the things. It's already come out. So for him to have the nerve now. Also, Mike Norvell was going to Alabama. Let me think. What else did Dennis Dodd say incorrectly? That Auburn would beat Florida State for the national championship. I can go down the list. I can keep going if I need to. It is a long one. It's so fun and it's so interesting. Look, she, Dennis, is very angry. I don't know. I need Dennis to show me on the doll where Florida State hurt you, because he has been really riding this one, while his opinion when Bobby Bowden, left was that Jimbo Fisher would only win 4 to 5 games. It's been a long running thing with Dennis Dodd. Again, like most national media, and we all know why most national media does actually come from the University of Miami. In case anybody doesn't know, this is very true facts. That's the hate. That's why it is. And then it all breeds down that way. And I get it. And that's fine. Chuck Todd. I'm just going to say, and you have been fired and maybe, get a real haircut or do something else that's not weird. But I get really pissed off with the Rutgers analogy. He actually said Rutgers was as valuable as Florida State. Rutgers, the rumor is Rutgers is being talked about getting kicked out of the Big Ten. Okay. They aren't valuable to anybody unless you're Miami, who can't beat them. That's it. That's the value. That's your value. Oh, and he also did throw in those All Canes conference winners that haven't bothered to win it yet and said that they're just as valuable. No, they're not, sir. Nobody thinks that. ESPN doesn't think that. Fox News doesn't, or Fox Sports doesn't think that. Nobody thinks that. Miami is so devalued because they're such garbage all the time. They're, what their basket, did they win like 5 games in basketball this year? I mean, it was sad. They came in like ranked 9 or some bullshit. And then it was like, oh, we can't even win an ACC game. They didn't even beat Florida State in basketball and then took our best player, Matthew Cleveland. What the hell is going on there? Y'all are allergic to winning. It's allergic. They are allergic to being valuable. They're allergic to being winning. I've never seen anything like this. I really haven't. I don't know. Maybe they get more money every time they fail. Maybe that's what the ACC is promising. Every time you don't win the ACC, you get more money out of your payout. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're playing the long game.
I blame the Ute for this because you sent us that clip and that pissed me off something serious. I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, you guys have done a good job of summing it up. I'll just add a little bit more snippets just to really piss everybody off even more here. So, so Dennis Dodd made mention that Florida State was valued slightly over a Big 12 school. Hey, guess what? I'm a Utah Utes fan. I'm a Big 12 guy. If the Noles come in the Big 12, heck yeah, baby. I love it. I get it. I get your standpoint, but I got to say that, okay? But hey, check it out. So what that means, though, Dennis Dodd was saying what that actually results in is like a media valuation of like the low $40 million for the Noles. That's crazy, guys. Because you know what? If you're looking at other conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten, each one of those members are making $80 million plus. So Dennis Dodd basically said, hey, you guys are worth like a little bit more than half of like, everybody else that's in the Big Ten and the SEC. That sucks. That's a little bit of the media. Like that's the gap that we're looking at is all the teams that are outside of the Power 2 and everything. That's exactly where you guys are trying to get out and everything. But it's ridiculous, really. Like Florida State is not a half share school when they go to the Big Ten conference. If they go to the SEC conference, no freaking chance. Florida State is one of the most valuable franchises in college football. Bar none, easy to see, no doubt about it. This is not a half share school by any means. I can't believe he said that, guys. I really can't. Like Florida State, as far as like actually realignment predictions, I always had Florida State 100% share in the Big Ten with Clemson as a half share in the Big Ten. Because Clemson And I know that might be like a little bit odd too, but what you
No.
guys bring and everything to the table versus what Clemson kind of brings wholesale wise, fan base wise, I think that makes perfect sense and everything. And it really, when you're looking at numbers over the longer time, like Florida State is a draw always. They'll draw in the Big Ten, they'll warrant their share and everything. So come on, give me a break. Like really, Florida State is not a $40 million school. No freaking way. That is crazy talk. I cannot believe he said it. If I was a Nole fan, I'd be super pissed. Honestly, I'd go after Dennis Dodd. So serious. Where are you getting these valuations? How can you even justify that? Like Florida State was one of the top draws last year.
Bro, he pulled it square out of the ass that he pulled his head out of. That's what
I
he
just
got it
said the
from.
Monty
Like,
show.
where are
Go
these
look it up.
valuations? Like, what kind of valuations do you have, dude?
Facts. He looks like a shaved testicle, and that's where it's coming from. He's a couple of balls that he just pulled out from somewhere, and he's out here running his mouth. Don't nobody give a damn about what Dennis Dodd talking about. All right, I haven't heard that name in years, and you know what? My life is all the better for it. He could go kick rocks. Florida State is a premier program nationwide. Nole Nation is all over the place. There's a reason that if we do bad, that it is national headlines. All right. And he's mad because he's been on the outs with us for the longest. He's been bumping his gums forever and won't pay his ass no attention. So he had to come out here and say some nonsense to try to get the clicks, and try to use us for clout. He can go kick rocks. I don't even want to waste time on Dennis Dodd. That just pissed me off some shit. I was like, wow, this dude came back around again. Like I swore I was
he does
done
it a
with
lot. Dennis Dodd, I feel like stalks. He's giving me I stalk Heather Dinich vibes. You know, like he is such a creep that he stalks the spinster cat lady of ESPN that nobody else wants. You know what I mean? Like it is so weird to me, Dennis Dodd, and then you have the Heather Diniches of the world. It's again, someone's got to show me on the doll where we hurt you, because nobody else knows you around here other than your bullshit articles that you write that always come out to be wrong. And I feel like there might be something underlying there. Like, did maybe Dennis Dodd got turned down by a co-ed in the DMs? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kirk Herbstreit did. I'm actually 100% sure. I mean, not for me. It wasn't for me. Just saying. I'm pretty sure that's where that all came from. But like, I feel like with these, like, what is Dennis Dodd's problem? I don't know.
Where did he go to school, guys?
I
want to find out right now. You keep talking here. We'll find out. He's probably
I'm pretty sure
guy.
he is a Kansas City, Missouri guy. I think if I'm not mistaken.
Ew. You can go.
It's a very again, I don't really know what his issue is, but he's always had an issue with Florida State. You know, he hated Florida State from when they got rid of Bobby Bowden, which I hated it too, you know, but it was the time. It did work out well in the end. We got another national championship, which nobody could have, you know, or known that Jimbo's wife was going to have an affair with a personal trainer. That wasn't on our bingo card for the year. We didn't know that. His life went downhill, but I mean, at the beginning, it worked out very well. We did try and tell some Texas A&M fans that called us bitter exes that it wasn't going to work. Let us know how you guys are doing, by the way.
Man, Dennis Dodd looked like the type, like him and Dinich get together and he just going to change his name to Dennis Dinich from now on. He don't even look like he would be the one wearing the pants in that relationship. Both of them are ass. And this is just yet another reason why we got to get out of this conference, because we giving people like Dennis Dodd like power to speak on what we doing out here. Like really, this is what you got? You can't talk about what happened on the field. You got to talk about some hypothetical number that you pulled out of somebody's keister, and you think that we supposed to give a damn what you talking about. Like, as soon as we get out of this rat ass conference, then watch how the narrative shifts. Oh, Florida State's been on the top of college football for the past 30 years. And Florida State's been one of the premier programs, and now they're bringing all of that rich tradition to the Big Ten. And I'm going to be standing right there, looking him square in the face, tiny hat cocked off to the side, going, hey, bro, we remember. So go ahead and catch this work, because I'm tired of all of that. You can go kick rocks with all of this mess.
Yeah,
Man.
I was right. It's Missouri.
He went
Missouri
to Mizzou.
School of Journalism. Yep.
He went to Mizzou. See, there it is. If it ain't Northwestern, it's Mizzou. And they always got something to say. and they always got something to say. Like, that just.
And
Hey, I've got something to ask you guys. Okay? I got something to ask you guys. Okay?
Sure.
All right, this isn't going to be something that you necessarily like, and this isn't. I'm not asking if you like it. I'm asking if you'll accept it. Okay. And all right, so what happens if the Big Ten and the SEC happen just to be completely full for whatever reason? Completely
Won't
full.
happen. Not gonna happen.
Let's hypothetically say that it happened. Okay. So let's go down that path. Okay. With me. I agree with you. I think Big Ten, right? Big Ten.
All right.
But I am curious, like, is there is momentum with something, this theoretical idea conference of the best of the rest conference that Florida State, Clemson might create, head up.
Yep.
And essentially the idea is that the ACC falls apart by vote of ACC members. The top brands, viewership brands, you've already seen it. I mean, there's only a couple, but like the top brands, right, pull away and they grab the top brands of the Big 12 and form their own conference. And that will probably warrant about double the money that you're getting paid now. Probably it's not going to be Big 10 or SEC money, but what kind of option is that for the Noles if that were to come done?
Well,
yeah.
I think you would have to go independent first, right? You'd have to go independent first. So that takes a lot of money. And while they've already lined up the money to get out of the ACC, right? Legally, they've got that money lined up. Like they can do that. Will it be private equity? Pretty sure it will. Yes, 100%. But I think that would have to be the last option.
Yes, so 100%, right? Like
Yeah.
you do not, if you've got a power to invite, you take it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if you don't, like, would you rather do that or stay in the ACC? Because
No, hell
I would
no.
rather do that.
No, give me the independence. Damn that, because then I'll build a schedule just like Notre Dame.
Yeah, you would have to go independent first in order to form your own conference. So it would be going independent at the start because you couldn't start talking to other schools without being in a conference unless you were independent, right? So legally they could sue you for tampering and do all the things that they're threatening the Big Ten with right now. The ACC is all over it. They're whining, they're complaining, they're just, stomping those feet. It's very sad what's going on there. I just wonder, where is Jim Phillips right now? Is he with a blankie under his bed? Do we know?
Jim Phillips is outside. He's outside on that cell phone that he's got buried out back in the potato chip bag, talking to John Swafford, because John Swafford is still out here ducking. He's still out here ducking. We gonna track him down. But either way, I think you go independent. Then we get that Notre Dame treatment. Every year, Notre Dame is always overranked. No, hell no. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Florida State is not going to be able to pick its own schedule. We can put big dogs on our schedule like Notre Dame does, put a bunch of trash bags on there like Notre Dame does, and go on about this. I can't have it. You can't give me that. But when's the last time Notre Dame was relevant?
Look, I mean,
a long time.
Right.
It's been a long time, but Notre Dame, I'm not going to get all into it, but that type of political power, just money power, influence, all those things is so far deep that Notre Dame could literally pick up the phone right now and decide to start their own conference and they could get away with tampering. Like that's how far deep it goes. And anybody else can tell me if I'm wrong. It's true. It's true.
It might be. Because you know why? All of the Notre Dame fans are in their 60s and 70s and they ain't die yet. And that's the only reason they got all this political power. Florida State has been a much more relevant brand than Notre Dame since the 80s. I mean, since the early 90s. Notre Dame has been plebeian as fuck. They've been overrated as hell. They've been a waste of our time. That's why they won't join a conference, because they get to cherry pick. Oh, you can have the 5 conference winners or Notre Dame. Or if there's a Power 2 and Notre Dame. If there's a 12-team playoff, it's got to be a conference
and those old ass fans
or
travel.
Notre Dame. Like, die already. All right, die already. Die,
Damn.
Grandpa. We're sick of you. I'm sick of hearing about Notre Dame. Them and
I get in trouble.
Man,
And
how
I
old
get
are
in
Notre Dame
trouble.
fans?
I'm
Like
tired
really,
of it.
like Notre Dame got all their fans from like the Rudy days.
Like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody watching Rudy.
Wasn't Rudy in 92, 93? Like a Rudy.
Like, when's the last time you watched Rudy? When's the last time you watched Rudy? Rudy is
I
boring as
hate
hell.
that movie.
Rudy is boring as hell.
I mean, didn't he start stealing people's credit
Rudy's
cards
not
or
boring.
something?
No, Rudy.
What? Yeah.
Listen. Rudy, let's be honest here. Rudy is boring as hell. Hoosiers, boring as hell. All right,
Blue
go back and watch
Chips,
the movies.
good.
All right, Blue Chips is straight. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Blue Chips. Brothers was getting their bread. I ain't gonna say nothing about Blue Chips.
You better not, because you know Penny Hardaway was in Blue Chips, so don't say a damn word.
Hoosiers was trash. We just gotta let's let these people go off to greener path. Listen, give them a knife, put them on an ice floe, and tell them if they can't kill a seal, then they just gonna die off on their own. All right, that's what the Native Americans had it right.
Viking funeral these teams.
I ain't Viking funeral and nothing. I'm trying to treat them like the Eskimos do. Hey, listen, we ain't got enough time to be dragging your old ass around. Take your knife, get out there on the ice floe, and you'll eat what you kill. If you can't do that, then I'm sorry for you, granddad. We love you. You gave us all the wisdom, but you ain't doing nothing but holding me back at this point. You can't even cut the ice up no more to help us build these igloos that we living in. Nah, hell no. Get your old ass out of here. And that's how I feel about Notre Dame. Notre Dame is irrelevant. That's why they went and got the light-skinned brother now with the Bobby Valentino hair so that he can walk around with them tight-ass shirts on. So, we're bringing in new blood. Man, sit down somewhere. I'm tired of Notre Dame. And I think Florida State, if we go independent, we should be able to do the same thing that they doing. We can cherry pick who we want to play. We should be automatically given a spot in if we go undefeated, just like Notre Dame does. And nobody should be able to tell me any different. Premier program over the last 30 years, 3 national titles since 1990. How many national titles Notre Dame got since 1990? Because all their national titles is on VHS and Laserdisc. So I don't want to Notre Dame is in the same boat that the University of Coral Gables Hurricanes are. Y'all living way in the past. Bon Jovi was out here singing songs on the top 100 the last time that y'all was out here doing work.
Now.
Right? I love Bon Jovi, but he ain't had a hit since how long? Since how?
I mean, I would say
Michael Jackson was still black the last time Notre Dame was out here winning stuff. Nobody want to hear nothing out of what Notre Dame got going on. Or the Hurricanes. How y'all gonna get credit for something that happened when I wasn't even born?
Michael Jackson was alive the last time Miami Hurricanes won anything.
Hey, listen. See what I'm saying? And he was black the last time Notre Dame won something. So we talking about 2 old ass programs that ain't done nothing, but they getting the benefit of the doubt? No, hell no. If Florida State goes independent, we should be able to cherry pick our schedule, and we should be able to get all of the love just like Notre Dame does, because we're gonna win more games. Let's be clear about that. People don't schedule. Notre Dame cherry picks who they want to play, and they make sure that they always play them Big Ten schools.
And then they lose their bowl games.
But they want to act like they're not in the Big Ten. Florida State plays anybody, anywhere, anytime. We played Bama when Saban was there. We played Oklahoma when they were on top of the game. We go and play. We play Miami all the time. We even went and played Pete Carroll in USC, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall that correctly. We always pulling up. So anybody want to play? I'm pretty sure we play SC as well. We will pull up and play anybody, anytime, anywhere.
That game was bought out.
Right? So I don't want to hear it. Okay, that's what it was. But we had them on there, though. So either way it goes. I think, and look at us now. Look at our schedule in the future. I don't think those games are going to happen, but we schedule Georgia. We schedule Bama again. We stay putting the big squads on our schedule because we know. Now, when's the last time Notre Dame scheduled somebody? The last time they scheduled somebody outside of that rat ass schedule they came down here and lost to the Hurricanes. That's where the whole turnover chain bullshit started, because of Notre Dame's sorry ass. They still go find Manti Te'o girlfriend and get the hell off of my TV screen. That's what they can go do. I'm tired of Notre Dame. You just got me mad all over again, you. That's what
Notre Dame. I remember when Rudy got that sack at the end of the movie. Oh my gosh.
I remember when he was stealing people.
For you guys. Hey, wait 1 second, okay? Got a question for you. So Florida State, let's just say that they're in the Big Ten this year. Are they winning the Big Ten conference this year? Florida State's in the Big Ten. You got Oregon and Ohio State have really solid football teams this year. Does Florida State with DJU get it done and win the Big Ten?
Yes.
2 yeses, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna lie about Florida State all the time. I think we run down on them.
Yeah, he loves to lie. I don't see if you put us in the Big Ten right now with the Big Ten schedule, I see losses possibly to Ohio State only.
Yeah, I think we run down on Michigan. I think we
Yeah,
beat the
I
hell out
think
of
Michigan this
State.
year is going to take a huge step back. Even though they've recruited very well, I think their coach is very good. But you replace that quarterback, even though he really didn't have that great of numbers. Brock Glenn had better numbers than him in his last game. But I think for me with the Big Ten, I would be more concerned. Let me think. Well, Oregon and Washington are joining. I'd have to see how everything lines up to make that determination. I would say with Florida State, the only two teams I would be concerned with right now would be Oregon and Ohio State.
Yeah,
that would just be me.
Yeah, they're the only ones. I think Oregon, Ohio State. That's it.
But Oregon chokes in big games, so again,
we would whoop Penn State's ass behind, in the locker rooms, but we know what they do in locker rooms. So
that's justification for getting Bobby's wins back when Joe Paterno got to turn a blind eye to child molestation. He gets his wins back. Bobby Bowden turns in a fake music course on his own and loses all his wins. Nah.
Right. Yeah. Well, hold on real
Penn
quick.
State, screw that.
The chat keep asking us about Josh Pate. What did Josh Pate say today about the ACC?
Josh Pate didn't say anything. Do you want to pull up? Do we have that tweet? So are we
I saw it looked like a glass of water.
It was a tweet.
It looked like a glass of water.
It's from Jurassic Park. It's when the dinosaurs come and they've got the cup sitting there and the cup starts to shake, right?
Okay.
It's like a earthquake. It's from Jurassic Park. It's when the dinosaurs are coming and the cup is sitting on the table and the cup starts to vibrate. It vibrates.
So we supposed to be scared of somebody?
So so really that I think part of the Jurassic Park, the T-Rex escapes and he's about to come take everybody out. Right. So he's taking steps and the water's shaking and everything. And what Josh Pate said actually after that tweet, somebody asked him, what does this mean? Does this mean the ACC is expanding? What does this mean? Nobody understands. And he said, no, it actually is the exact opposite. So the ACC is going to be shrinking. So yeah.
No.
What do you think don't you guys in 2 days have some type of big board meeting and stuff?
It's actually tomorrow. We have a court date tomorrow.
Boom. Just think of a T-Rex. Boom, boom, boom.
Court date tomorrow. Right? And I was listening to Flugar and I only saw the headline. I was coming up the stairs. I didn't get to listen to the whole show. I will do it later. I promise I will do my homework. But it was live then, so it wasn't like I was missing some sort of news. But it was that the ACC filed to make their dissents in Leon County before the court date tomorrow. So they didn't object to anything Florida State had filed, basically, by 5 p.m. today.
I got it. So what he's saying is that Renegade and Osceola then threw that spear in the ground and we shaking shit out here.
I mean, that's what he's saying.
Okay, Pate. Pate. I hate you. I can't stand Pate ass either. But
he's saying that FSU is the T-Rex, guys. The T-Rex.
Yeah, I think that's what he is saying. And I do. But again, guys, Josh Pate also said that the biggest head coaching hire would happen at the University of Alabama, and it was happening that night. When Nick Saban retired, he was like, there are planes picking up this dude at the airport with and he was showing all these, again, guys can be wrong. He may have gotten really good information, but that was never happening that night. That was that Thursday night before Kalen DeBoer was hired. There was nobody landing there. There was no new hire about to be made. We all know that because the only two hires that were about to be made were Mike Norvell and Kalen DeBoer, and Mike Norvell was in Pensacola that night. So again, I just take it with a grain of salt. We can all get excited, but tomorrow is a big court date. So, and it's not that he doesn't have good information. Josh Pate has way better information than I could ever squeeze out of a coconut. It's insane. But he was a little wrong on the Alabama coaching search. I will say that.
Okay. All right, Pate. Well, keep being trash as usual. But hopefully you were right on this one for the first time in forever. He out here singing Frozen. So for the first time in forever, Josh Pitt got something right. Like, shut
I
your
mean,
ass up.
I am still waiting on his whole episode about complaining about how Florida State got left out of the college football playoff that he promised should they get left out. He has a whole video about it. He said, if they get left out, ESPN said this, and if they get left out, I will do a whole hour video on how ridiculous this is. We're all still waiting.
Yeah.
It's what? What's today?
Pure
June
no default.
17th. That happened
What
on
are you guys
December
gonna
3rd.
do if Florida State gets out in a couple days? Like, that's complete speculation. It looks like
I'm
there's
having a
something going
party.
on, right?
I'm
A couple
having
days.
a party.
What the heck is your channel gonna freaking do when that
What?
happens? That announcement happens.
What?
I hope I'm going to be live when it happens. I'm going to throw a party.
You guys are
I'm
gonna
going
have
to
to
take
pop the
all the
champagne.
shots. I'm going to say na 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 to like the North Carolina states of the world, the Wake Forest, the Dukes.
Oh, the Wolfpack backpacks.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to tell them, sorry, you can't cash these paychecks anymore. You're going to have to refund that the welfare debit card or whatever it is. And, reload it because go have Miami reload.
Yep. The price of the brick
Miami
going up.
pay that bill.
The price of
See
the
how far
brick
that
going up if Florida State get out of this rat ass conference into what? Oh man, listen, you go. If they thought FSU Twitter was crazy before, let the news come out that we out of this rat ass conference. We running down on everybody, and it ain't gonna be nothing nice. So Pate's trash. We can throw him in there with Dennis Dye, Heather Dinich. We can get all of there, and Kirk Herbstreit. All y'all can go ride in the bus back to Shut the Hell Upsville, and we'll keep it moving from there. So I wanted to jump into this next topic that I saw here because, again, with the Ute coming on here, I got to make sure that my numbers are spot on. So I saw this post. That said from College Football Report said the college football teams with the most unranked finishes after being ranked preseason from 2010 until now with the AP poll. So I saw this and I noticed a couple of names. There's a couple of things that I noticed about this list that so again, these are teams that were ranked preseason that ended. Bruh, I'm so serious. Notre Dame. I hate Anyway, so if you started the season ranked and then you ended the season unranked, they went over all of the teams who did that and how many times they did it from 2010. And a couple of things that struck me about this list. The University of Coral Gables Hurricanes, our favorite team, our favorite whipping boys. Y'all did that shit 4 times since 2010. Started the season ranked and ended the season unranked 4 times. And y'all barking. It don't get no better because that sorry ass team up there in Shamesville, the SEC or the East, we don't want Florida State in the SEC because we already got a footprint. Y'all did that shit 5 times. So 5 different times, combined 9 times between the other 2 flagship of Florida teams that we got down here. 9 times y'all started the season ranked and ended unranked, which I thought was absolutely hysterical. They always running their mouths about how great they are. They always lying in the offseason. We know the Hurricanes are the offseason champs, and they sorry asses always in the season unranked, just like they start the season all the damn time. But one other thing that I saw about this list that caught me off guard, there are 6 SEC squads on that exact same list. And that goes right
Give
back.
me a guess. Give me one guess, okay?
Let's go.
I got the number 1 team.
Let's go.
Texas A&M Aggies.
Number one with a bullet. Number 1. Texas A&M is on there. Florida's on there. You got Georgia on there 4 times. Auburn 4 times. Texas 4 times. All right. You got LSU 3 times. You got Arkansas 3 times. And so so 7 teams from the SEC. Now, I don't think I really counted the other ones because they haven't played a game yet, but we're going to throw them in there too. So what that shows me is that, once again, like they always call us conspiracy theorists when we say this, but they always rank these SEC schools sky high because of previous past performances, name recognition, etc. They boost up what they think that conference is going to be, and then they end up getting their asses beat over the whole course of the season, and then they turn around and say, well, they were ranked when you played them. They were ranked when we played them. No. The only reason that those conferences and those teams get all of that cachet is because you overrank these people when the season starts, and then they end the season unranked. 6 different teams have done that multiple times over this last decade plus. And you want to sit here and tell me how that's the best conference in football just because y'all got 2 or 3 teams at the top that are solid, just like every other conference does, and then the rest of the conference is pure and utter ass, just like every other conference. So how do y'all feel about that, seeing all of these teams that start the season ranked so sky high, and a lot of these blue blood programs ending the season unranked, like a lot of the rest of the middling squads in those conferences?
I think it makes perfect sense, guys, because it's even worse than we think. It's really protecting the investment, the media rights investment of ESPN, prior CBS, and stuff with the SEC, because they're trying to build up these brands. So, I mean, and you can make the argument, okay, because of the recruiting, but like, hey, some of these schools, like Arkansas is not recruiting at an elite level, right? Like, and so, but Texas A&M, of course, was the beauty pageant, right, of recruiting, and they sucked anyway. But really, like, you're looking at like the reason why is because the television partners are going to want to put them on TV a bunch. And so you want to get a lot of just hype, just false hype and everything. So it's not legit. It's bull crap. Preseason rankings are bull crap. It's a beauty pageant based on recruiting rankings and your conference affiliation. It's total bunk sauce and stuff. And I bet, like, and honestly, for like a team like University of Utah, we get snubbed all the time, right? Like, we ain't sexy at all, right? Like, we're freaking Utah. And so we're on the other end of that, oftentimes trying to fight and everything. And the Noles are somewhere in the middle on the ACC. If the Noles get in the Big Ten, hey, you probably are going to get a lot of that love too, right? A lot of that love all of a sudden, because they're going to try to boost that brand, boost it, because you're going to be on TV like in the prime spots like every freaking week. And so I just think that there's a little bit more going on there too with the rankings.
Yeah.
They're haters. They're haters.
Absolutely.
Well,
unreal. I'm gonna hit some of these super chats real quick. Wild Utes, FSU to the Big Ten and go blue from Marcus Williams. Thank you, Marcus. $2.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you so much.
All right, Marcus. We see you,
man.
We see you, Marcus, looking like Blade in that picture.
And Coy, FSU travel partner if going to the Big Ten. Thank you, Coy. For the $2. Guys, I've been alone on this for forever. I do think it's now looking like it's going to be Clemson, but I'm still not going to be surprised if Clemson ends up in the SEC. And again, it falls to Georgia Tech. I know everybody hates when I say this, but if you ask me my opinion right now, with everything going on with the North Carolina stuff, the Board of Governors, with the UVA, with Virginia Tech, with Miami voting against Florida State, I really honestly, I feel like it honestly could fall to Georgia Tech.
What? Huh?
I know.
Wait, you're saying Georgia Tech gets in the SEC?
No, I said a travel partner to the Big Ten. That would not surprise me.
Do you want to? Should we pull up the Georgia Tech ratings again, so we show you guys how
really
Georgia Tech ratings are? You guys want to see that stuff again?
I know it sounds stupid. I'm only saying that it's because I think right now it looks like it's going to be Clemson, right, in the Big Ten with Florida State. I think that's where it's leaning to. But should Clemson go to the SEC, I don't see Florida State going with Miami. And I think North Carolina's and all the shit with the Board of Governors. And I think the Virginia Tech stuff is crazy. So again, it just wouldn't shock me if it fell to them. Now, I'm not saying I'm calling it.
I mean, the Big Ten would like to add a bunch of math majors. They definitely would like to add a bunch of math majors. So that makes sense academically, I guess. But they ain't bringing no bread. And the Big Ten, I could see it too.
They bring that market, though.
And there's one thing I was going to say, the Atlanta market. That Atlanta market is something that the Big Ten definitely would be able to capitalize on if they were to bring a school, especially out of Georgia, because you have UGA going in the SEC. You can also have Georgia Tech to kind of give them a footprint in that Atlanta market. Florida State, of course, giving them the Florida market. So I could see it.
I mean, I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Clemson at this point, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be a big stunner for me in my personal situation. That's what where I'm going with that.
Several years ago, I went to a game at Clemson. It was Florida State Clemson, actually. It was a really fun game and stuff. A lot of Knowles fans represented and everything. But the place that I flew into from Salt Lake City, Utah, was Atlanta. And the drive from Atlanta to Clemson, South Carolina, was like an hour and a half. So if you're going to say that it's all about the Atlanta market, you really don't think you get that by adding Clemson? That is exactly what you're getting. Like, you basically can kick Georgia Tech to Timbuktu. You get Clemson. You get everything you want in football. That's why Georgia Tech, like, what do they bring to you?
I mean, you're 100% right. I just, with Georgia Tech, with their academics, with their market, with everything else, I was only saying it wouldn't surprise me if it fell to them. If it happened to fall to them, it would not be a stunner, because I don't think Notre Dame is making a move anytime soon. And I think Florida State and Clemson want to make a move quickly. And I don't know that Clemson's going to get a full share in the Big Ten. I don't expect it at this point. If they were the travel partner. Now, I do think they would get a full share in the SEC, possibly. Now, do they want to do that? Do they want to do that? I don't know. I guess for me, I was just saying, in a roundabout way, it could always fall to Georgia Tech, because I don't see it being Miami when Florida State jumps, and I don't see it being North Carolina or Virginia at this moment right now.
If it's Georgia Tech, I will eat this hat. I'm serious. I'll eat this hat on our channel, right? Like, that's like how I'm 100% certain it happened. And if it does happen, I'll eat the dang hat, right? Like, it's just, there's no way it makes any, like, Jen, you come from a financial background, so do I, and everything. Like, how in the world, like, Dennis Dodd, we know he's a buffoon, but he's saying Florida State's worth $42 million. What the freak do you think Georgia Tech's worth, guys? Seriously, Florida State's 42. I don't agree with that. No one agrees with that. It's bullcrap. But if Florida State is that at that level, where's Georgia Tech?
Honestly, they're worth a number 6 at Chick-fil-A. That's what they're worth right now.
Well, what they're worth is Miami's undefeated season last year, because, Miami, maybe Georgia Tech could, like, send some coaches over to University of Miami, another big ball in school, and teach them how to do the victory formation. I don't know.
So
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
So do you think? So let me ask you this: do you think that it is going to be Florida State, Clemson going to the Big Ten if we do this?
I do right now. If you had to put a gun to my head, I would say yes.
You don't think the SEC is going to step in and say, "Hey, whoa, my brother"?
I don't think the SEC is going to offer what the Big Ten offers.
I think Jen's right. I think exactly right. I think you're going to get better off from the Big Ten. I think it makes more sense to go to the Big Ten anyway. But yeah, you guys are going to like this. I think that your pals from Coral Gables are going to come along too. I think Miami gets in, Clemson gets in, and Florida State get into the Big Ten.
No, Miami need no. Coral Gables, they ain't bringing nothing. They are not bringing anything.
I think if Miami comes over, I don't think it'll be right when Florida State leaves. I think it'll be a couple years later. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's going to be Florida State first, 100% share. Clemson second, 50% share. Then I think Miami at 50% share, then Notre Dame is going to get plucked over at 100% share. I think that's how it's going to be. It's going to be 22.
What is the University of Coral Gables actually bringing of value to the Big Ten?
Brand equity, man. Brand equity.
Damn that. What is their equity worth right now? They worth what? 6% of the stadium field, unless they play in Florida State, where Florida State is 80% of the people watching the game down here. What are they bringing? A 50-yard indoor practice facility. That's what they bring in. That's what they got. I mean, they got yachts that they ain't even allowed to ride on no more because
Uncle Rico's got to learn how to throw that ball farther. I mean, I don't know.
You got a lot of North Midwest teams like Minnesota, and they need to go on vacation down in Miami, right? Like that's exactly the purpose.
They don't even go to Miami. They go to Destin. They go to Pensacola. All right, that's where they go. They go to Tampa. They don't go to Miami. Hey, it's too hot down here.
Don't hate on Destin. Don't you hate on Destin? Okay?
I'm not hating on Destin. I like Destin. Destin got the.
At the end of the day, you guys are going to get 100% share, and Miami's going to be a 50.
They don't even do that.
Right? Listen, you're going to be halfsies.
You want to see PJ Fleck burst into flames? Send him to Coral Gables to play a game in the summer. Ain't nobody from Minnesota trying to go to the Coral Gables, go down to Miami Gardens. Ain't nobody from Wisconsin trying to go down there. That's why every time Wisconsin play Miami, it's always up there or it's in a bowl game at a neutral site. There's no team up north wants to come all the way down here to play in front of an empty ass stadium where you can hear all. That's the only reason Miami be winning down here is because you can hear all of the offensive calls and the defensive signals because ain't nobody in the stands making noise. They're wild card.
UCLA. You guys realize UCLA is the same thing as Miami, and UCLA is in the Big
We didn't
Ten.
ask for UCLA. UCLA is some girl that our ex is talking to, or some girl that I like. We ain't nobody paying attention to UCLA. Oh, that's the dude.
Did you just say a girl? My ex is stop.
That's what we talking. That's exactly. It ain't even a dude. Our ex had to go get a whole female to try to go. Oh, look, she's got on blue. She's got on power blue now. Get your ass out of here. Nobody give a damn about UCLA. UCLA, what? Nobody care about them. Oh, we got golden.
We have to play them in the Emerald Bowl, the Emerald Almond Nut Bowl with Lorenzo Booker that ran all over their asses. And they were like 11-win team, and they played a 5-6-win Florida State team and lost so bad to Lorenzo Booker, who could not stop dancing on stop. Just stop again. I don't know what to say.
Like, get out of here. The only reason they even got them teams from California so that they can go out there on vacation. That's the only reason.
No, they wanted USC, but I think UCLA had to come, right? I mean, USC is a very valuable program. I'm not gonna deny that and be totally delulu, because apparently I got put on the Tennessee channel as being delusional.
Really?
That is rich coming from them people.
Isn't that amazing? I can't wait to go watch. I wish somebody would send me the video so I can go put on some content to it. But yes, it was a Tennessee fan said Florida State fans are delusional, which is amazing coming from a team that hasn't been relevant since 1998. I don't, you guys flushed out T. Martin. He doesn't even want to coach for you anymore. He doesn't want to step foot on that campus. You guys are just a sloven. Ooh, speaking of which, that's a nice transition. What do you think of that?
Oh, listen, I'm with you on it because we were going to get to Tennessee and I don't know what the hell is wrong with these people. Listen, we already told them about themselves before, but for some reason, a guy who got all of this sympathy and this love from Florida State when he was down here, Mr. Mackenzie Milton, is now up there on that rat ass squad talking wild reckless. Oh, Tennessee, great win. Listen. All right. I want to say what I want to say about you, but it would be wild crass to do so. So what I'll say is this, sir. If you thought your leg was hurt before, I will Nancy Kerrigan your ass. Okay. That's what we're going to call you from now on. Mackenzie Kerrigan, because you out here on one leg rooting for the ops. We gave you love. And you out here rooting for the ops after that call in that game in the baseball game the other day? I'm done with this, man. You can talk about it.
Within 2 minutes. And here's where I'm going to go with this. Okay. I am not going to disparage this young man. I was very celebrating him when he had no other options to go to because UCF had recruited over him. He was not going to play. He was not going to start. Mackenzie Milton, God bless you. That injury was painful to see. However, there was one fan base that took you in. There was one fan base. UCF fans didn't take you in. They didn't want you to play anymore. They want you gone. They wanted their new quarterback. They wanted their new shiny quarterback. Tennessee fans don't even like T. Martin. They don't want him anywhere around them. He won them their only national championship since 1951.
Because
they have nothing to do with him. They don't care about him. They love them some Peyton Manning, who lost to Memphis. And I was at that game, by the way, the year before. So if we're going to go into this, let me tell you something. You hitched your wagon to the wrong fan base, sir. And they will ditch you so quickly in about 6 months when y'all get smoked by Georgia, get smoked by Auburn, whoever else is on your schedule. Because Tennessee, you beat nobody last year. You lost to a 4-win Florida team, by the way. You lost, and you didn't just lose. You got beat the fuck up. Nobody cares about Tennessee at all. So, again, I'm trying to be nice. because I'm trying to be maybe a little bit softer sometimes. I get told I'm mean. I'm just saying you picked the wrong squad, sir. And now you're getting dragged by the only people that loved you and still respected you. You wanted to be the leader of our collective. You wanted to be an assistant coach for Florida State, and you post that after that call on that night. Sir, you could have waited an hour. You could have waited an hour. You could have waited 2 hours. You could have waited till the next day. You chose not to. Sorry, you're getting dragged. Screw you, Mackenzie Milton, and enjoy being fired in 6 months, because that's what's going to happen.
Or he could have shut the hell up. How about that? Not saying nothing. I'm just going to be quiet.
Not said a damn word.
Just be quiet, because you already know FSU Twitter is on your ass, and he already getting it. That's what you get for running your mouths. First off, people always think that Florida State football fans are rabid. FSU baseball fans are classy individuals. They love the game. They love the sport. You've seen no team has anything bad to say when they come down and play at Florida State. But when you break bad with FSU baseball, that is like the hometown team. They all love FSU baseball in Tallahassee. There's nothing you can say bad about that program. And when you break bad with them, you got a whole other subset on your ass, dude. A whole other subset. I know like 8 black people that watch baseball, and all of them love FSU baseball. So you got a whole problem on your hands. All right. So Mackenzie Milton can go sit his hobbled ass the hell down after all of the love Florida State gave him. You should have just been quiet. You should have just silently pumped your fist instead of trying to come across us. But we on your ass, boy. We are on your ass. How you feel about Mackenzie Milton, Wild?
Mackenzie Milton's a name that's I hadn't heard for a while, actually. Mackenzie Milton, right out with the UCF injury. I think that he was on that fake championship team for UCF. Yeah, he was one of the quarterbacks, right? And he got replaced by, here's a name, Dylan Gabriel. The Oregon quarterback right now. Dylan Gabriel beat Mackenzie Milton out at UCF. Yep. Weird. It's like some weird stuff going on.
And that's what bothers me is UCF wanted Mackenzie Milton out and were applauding him to transfer to Florida State. They absolutely dropped this kid, hated him. They wanted Dylan Gabriel to start. And then he goes to Tennessee and now says, oh, go Big Orange.
Is he coaching or Tennessee? Is he playing? He's not playing.
He's a grad assistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, stop. You barely get paid. And you just did this to the only fan base that likes you? Sir, we stand for your sorry ass. We clapped while you couldn't throw a ball 20 yards in the Jacksonville State game. I'm so sorry. I'm so heated about this one. I'm sorry. Like, this makes me angry. We had to sit there and clap like it was a special ed's kid coming out there on the field going, oh, look at me go. Oh, barely. And then we lost to Jacksonville State for that little experiment. Okay? I'm over it. No, sir.
Did he get beaten out by Travis, or who did he get beaten out by, Milton?
Oh man, I think we did Travis. Have him as the backup.
He got beaten out by Travis.
Or is it Tate Rodemaker? Tate Rodemaker.
No, he got beaten out by Travis.
One of the greatest names of all time.
Right?
Oh yeah, Tate.
The Louisville killer, Tate Rodemaker. Yeah, that's true.
Right. That's funny. Jen said that they paying him in barbecue sauce. Like, that's how much he getting paid up there. That's terrible. That is hilarious. Mackenzie Milton, just go sit down somewhere, bro. I ain't know. I thought you. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you got arrested for killing your wife in South Africa. That's what I thought you got done. So that was the last time I thought I heard of him. There was a whole big trial about it and all. So I'm not worried about him. Anyway,
that's Oscar Pistorius, sir, and you know it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mackenzie Pistorius. That's what I just said. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to jump on is I saw this list come out that really pissed me off before the Ute sent me that damn Dennis Dodd video. But it was a list of the top 10 secondaries in the country. The top 10 secondaries in the country. And when I looked at the list, I was like, okay, a lot of these teams do these things and blah, 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 blah. But then when I looked at it, I was like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Some of these teams on here, and we're missing some people. We're missing some people here. So it said number 1 was Ohio State. Number 2 was Iowa. I said, wait, what? Secondaries? Iowa number 2? Huh. And then you got Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame got a couple of nice little corners there. Michigan up there, Oregon
They'll
up there,
fail.
Texas,
It's Notre Dame. Their
Georgia.
defenses always sucks.
8 was Wisconsin, 9 was Oklahoma, and 10 was Arizona. So I ran down that list and I'm like, well, wait a minute, who the hell put this list together? And it was Pro Football Focus, who normally is very reputable, who I normally don't have nothing bad to say, but now I'm on your ass, Pro Football Focus. Where was Florida State on the list?
I don't know. I guess I need to send Max a message.
Like, who are these people?
I love me some Max.
Yeah. Pull up on Max and pull up on him with a giant mallet in your hand with blood dripping down your lips, like the Harley Quinn that you are. Like, what is going on here? Where's Florida State on this list? You're not finna tell. I don't listen. In no world on this earth, at no time on this earth has Iowa, Wisconsin, or Arizona had better DBs than Florida State ever. There's no
Iowa
list.
is very good about having white DBs. Maybe that's what the list was with Notre Dame and then Iowa on there. Was it white DBs? Is that what it was? Can you answer me that?
It was not. But under no circumstances in the history of college football has Iowa, Wisconsin, or Arizona ever had better DBs than Florida State. All right.
Arizona still has players. Didn't they lose their coach?
Yeah, Arizona lost.
They all transferred.
So
they've
what
got
the
like 2 cornerbacks, no depth though. Yeah, they shouldn't be on that list.
Throw the whole list away.
Yeah, right. I'll have to check in with Max. I love Max. I love that whole podcast. That is my go-to. I will give Max all the credit. If I ever need a girl who asks me about sports, I say, go watch this podcast and you will learn, because I don't have the time to tell you. But here you go. Go watch this one. I love that show. I love Max. I think he's amazing. But this was way off for me. I don't know that I've ever seen Notre Dame have really good corners or defensive backs. Like, what in the world is going on here? we know this about I'm being nice as I can be, but their defense always sucks. Their offense is always okay. That's their strong suit is the offense, guys. That's all I'm
They've got good offensive linemen though, all the freaking time.
I mean, shit, that's all they can do up there. They go and pick up baby cows and throw them shits over gates up there. Ain't shit else to do in Iowa. They better be able to do that. And hell, Wisconsin is full of O linemen too. Oh, hay baling motherfuckers up there milking cows and just picking up cows who sleep on you sleep on the wrong side of the barn. Let me just go walk you over here. Like, that's what they do. They don't have DBs. What DBs are going to Wisconsin, Iowa, and Arizona that would start on the 2 deep for Florida State next season?
There'll be 3-star kids. Yeah, 3-star kids.
Now one of them. So they need to give some love to
Deion Sanders, that's for sure.
We ain't even got to go to all-time great level. We can look at AZ Thomas, right? Earl Little Jr. All right. Ain't Fentrell still out here doing work?
Yep.
Right. So again, those 3 start on every single one of them teams. Every single one of them teams. None of those DBs that are on either one of them teams are Florida State caliber. I looked at this list. I said, throw this whole list away. This pissed me off too. Pro Football Focus, we're going to have a nice conversation about what y'all got going on over there, because I don't know what the hell y'all watching if y'all think that any one of them 3 teams got DBs that's better than what Florida State finna put on the field. And this is before we even get to the safeties. This is before we start talking about Shaheem Brown, start talking about Conrad Hussey, start talking about all of the big dogs that we got on the backside of the defense. Just the cornerbacks. Like, are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about. These people are doing this for the clicks. They pissing me off. They pissing me off in the offseason just to do it. And I had to make sure that we called them out on that. I don't know what the hell they had going on, but they're making my life hard. Either way, I wanted to any other tidbits about the ACC that you want to get off your chest that we need to know about, so that once we do get out of this conference, I can throw them numbers at somebody and laugh out. I want to take all of your points and just start hitting people in the face with like Floyd Mayweather throwing them hundreds at one of them little gifs over there. So give me something about the ACC and Florida State that nobody else is talking about before we get out of here.
Well, no one else is talking about it. It's been really good business for the ACC outside of Florida State. Like if you are Georgia Tech and you are Wake Forest and stuff, like there's this big old fat udder right there that's named Florida State that you've been sucking on for a long time. So it's really been nice, guys. It's been really, really, really nice. That's the dirty little secret here and everything. So everybody else has been milking you guys for a long, long, long time. It's time to stop the milk. Milk flow needs to stop. And so that's really
that from you.
that's really at the end of the day with Clemson and Florida State, like you're too big of brands to be aligned with some of these other schools, right? Like no joking aside, you need to be in a conference where it can hold the size of brand that Florida State is. And that right now is in the Power 2 conference. That's where the money is. If you're going to compete in this new era of college football, you need the money. You need the double, triple money and everything that those bring. It's a no-brainer. That's why you're moving the way you're moving stuff. You're going to get an invite over to the Big Ten. So as far as the remaining ACC schools are screwed. They're absolutely freaking screwed, guys. Like, I know that's not your concern, but still, like looking at the freaking collateral damage is going to be really, really bad. Like once Clemson and Florida State are out of the conference, you're talking like your viewership giants are completely gone. And like you have to renegotiate an already crappy long TV deal. What do you think ESPN is just going to let you just keep making the same amount of money that you're making right now with Florida State and Miami and Clemson and everybody else in the conference? Like no way they're going to renegotiate that thing down based on how much eyeball share FSU's been getting. So that contract's about to take a 30, 40%, maybe a 50% dip in value, and it's already low, and it's already extended out until Timbuktu 2036, I think. So you're really, really, really screwed if you're an ACC school staying in that, because you're about to make really almost G5 level money. We're talking about payouts, guys, that are less than $20 million a year. Seriously, on a renegotiated contract. So you don't. The only way that an ACC school could survive is by milking you guys even more with exit fees, right? Like they've been sucking on you guys for a long time, but really the exit fees, that's the big one right there, right? Trying to really get and really suck on you guys. Big time for that. So you really, you got to limit those exit fees. I'm telling you guys, really, like they've had enough, cut them off, give them a little bit more and let them just go do what they're going to do. And so once the exit fee amount isn't going to be as much as everyone thinks, the ACC will implode as we know it. And the ACC will remain as a G5 level, non-automatic 3 conference. And the Big 12 conference is actually going to rise into a third bronze position. Florida State will make their way into the Big 10, a couple other schools and everything. And everyone will be happy on their way, but there'll be some sad ACC schools left behind. And we know those players right there and everything. But guess what? You have to bring value. It's all about value creation. Florida State brings value. They bring fan base, eyeballs, everything else. That's all that matters today in college football, realignment talk and everything. You got it. They don't. And so they're in trouble. And that's just how business works, guys. That's capitalism right there at work. And it is what it is. You got to accept it. But that's really the summation of that whole thing.
You heard it here, people. Wild you dropping the bombs, all right? For the rest of the ACC, stop slobbing on our knob. Hey, let us get the fuck out of here. All right, listen, we've been in bed with you long enough.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started because I'm already about to be like corn on the cob.
You're not on point, right? You're not on point no more. All right, we just want to go on our set. Let us go our separate ways, baby. Get our asses up out of here. The Ute just told you. Stop sucking on our udders. We done sprayed you with our milk long enough. So let us go ahead and do what we do out here, okay? You're not homogenizing and pasteurizing our milk no more. I'm sorry. We're not dealing with it no more. So get off of our knob. Let us go do what we do. We got meat to go slaying elsewhere where the bread at. All right, that's where we going. All right, so you tell the people where they can find you at, my man.
Yeah, so you can find me at College Football Mafia. We do many live shows per week, short videos, focus a lot of realignment, Big 10 and Big 12 content in particular. So yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays do live shows there, but College Football Mafia YouTube channel.
Absolutely. And again, to my beautiful co-host, the FSU Harley Quinn, thank you so much. And to the chat, I see y'all down there laughing at the nonsense. Listen, we speak the truth over here, baby. We speak the truth over here. All right. Tiny Hat Gang, we out.
First off, fuck Bama in the road tide. Fuck Tuscaloosa in every city that's close by. Bitch ass hillbilly redneck fans. Auburn